You're watching Rudameller TV. I'm your host, Brent Rudameller, and I'm here with Juanita Elizabeth Poland, also known as Juanita Rudameller.
It's been changed.
Born in 1927. So is it true? Legend has it you were found in a basket floating on the Ohio River
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
across the railroad tracks in Latonia.
Yeah, right across there. Yeah. They went down to Latonia somewhere in the waterways and got me.
Good. Well, I thought I made that up, but
That was true.
okay. So we're here at La Costa Glen. You're in your 91st year, heading to 92. Did you ever think you'd make it this long?
Never even thought of numbers like that. I was too busy thinking about 23 and 24.
Now you got to think of multiples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
92.
92.
But you know what I think is very interesting? You have a lot of friends that are your same age. Did you know today I got a text from the Dietz family?
No, that was nice.
So, Dietz, do you know Dietz?
Yeah, sure, I know Dottie.
Dot Dietz, she was one of your best friends growing up?
Crazy Eight.
How old were you when you first knew her?
When I moved to Kentucky,
When you knew the Dietz and the Crazy Eights. Who are the Crazy Eights? What is the Crazy Eights?
there are 8 girls we kind of banded together and made that somewhere along the line it came out we were crazy. So we got named out as Crazy Eight. Not true. It is true. What is she saying? But anyhow,
So you were all Kentucky girls in Latonia? Did you all grew up in Latonia?
oh, we grew up in Latonia, went to Holy Cross High School, grade school and high school, and graduated from high school there.
And all 8 of you remained friends over the years?
Oh, we're still friends. Where's left?
So, do you know all their names of the Crazy Eight?
Sure I do.
Let's hear them.
Oh, well, Dottie, Ruth Taylor, Mary Lukey, Jane Weatherstrand, Juanita, I say Juanita Poland. I don't know how many that is.
5.
5. I can't say I forgot everybody, just probably at the wrong time.
Bosey? Did you know Bosey?
Who?
Bosey or
Dorothy Dietz, I said that,
Yeah.
Dot Dietz.
Well, we'll circle back to those other 3. So what was it like growing up in Latonia, northern, and now Latonia, how did people look at Latonia versus Fort Mitchell and Covington and
Well, I didn't know the difference then.
now across the river was Cincinnati?
No, across the river, whenever we went to buy fancy clothes, we went to town.
The town?
To town.
What was the
And go
town?
to town, we had to take a bus. Cross the Ohio River and go to visit Cincinnati. And that's where I had my career in Cincinnati.
So, and your career was in fashion.
Uh-huh.
So, when did you get your first job, and how did you get your first job in the fashion industry?
Well, Brian, I said to him, stay home today. I'm not going to send you to kindergarten.
And Brian was one of your youngest of 5 children.
Uh-huh. He's your brother.
Can you name all of them?
He's your brother. That's understand.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went over, because it was Christmas time, they had a big ad in the paper that Christmas help wanted. And I had to do something. Your dad wasn't working. He's working, but not very hard. So, anyhow, enough of that. But Brian and I went over, got in the car, went over and parked the car, and he had to sit out in the hallway and wait while I went and talked to the personnel director. And he said he would like me to work, but I said, well, can't work because I got all these kids at home. And So my mother, oh, God love her,
No, wait a second. You applied for a job
uh,
to work, and he said, "I'd like you to work," and you said, "I can't work."
I said I had to find out how.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because my mother would help me, my mother always helped me.
Now your mother, her name
Norma Orr.
Norma Orr.
Either
Or?
Norma Orr.
Norma Orr. So when was Norma Orr born? Do you know? Do you know what year she was born?
1900, I think.
1900.
Yeah.
And she grew up in Latonia also.
Is she what?
She grew up in Latonia. Where did she
In
grow
Newport.
up? In Newport.
Newport, Kentucky.
And
Oh.
you were her only child.
I was her only child, and she had a few husbands, but I was the only child. She adored me, and my children she adored. And then we went, so we went back to the story of how I started to work.
Sorry.
And then we crossed the river and went over there, and he sat out and the man said, well, you could, I think, well, I could use you, but I said, well, I have to ask my mother if she'll watch her children. And so he said, well, let's do that. And then we finally came back that could watch the kids like while I went to work on Saturday. And so they were all home. I don't know if I'm telling the story right or not, but anyhow.
Well, she helped you a lot to get your career started off, and that was just working over Christmas holidays.
It was working over the Christmas holidays, so then I went to work at the third floor in the boutique department. And I couldn't imagine that they charged so much for clothes. $25 for a dress. I mean, that was hard for me. But you learn quickly.
Now, the name of the store was?
Shillitoe's.
Shillitoe's. And Shillitoe's later was bought by whom?
Macy's.
Macy's.
Mm-hmm.
So that's...
Yeah, they went on to... But I wanted to tell you the story about when I first started to work. And then, so she said, my mother said she would work on Saturday. So I went to work, and I went in there, and it was all beautiful pearls and other things. She said, there was a man that said, well, I'd like you to handle Mallorca pearls. I said, all right. So after he left, I thought, where's Mallorca? I never heard of Mallorca. It's a special pearl that could only be purchased, and people knew about it. They came there to buy the Mallorca pearls. I was supposed to sell them, but I didn't, I guess. That's from then on.
So you
I would walk by, and the girls would walk by with hair, all beautiful girls modeling, and they would take the pictures right by the boutique counter. And I thought, wow, I would love to do that. Wonder if I could ever do that. So Betty would walk by. She was a fashion director at a fashion office. And I said, if you ever have any vacancy, I would like to work in your department sometime. And she said, well, could you do now back to school show with all the kids? But it won't be until temporary. So I did that. And I didn't know anything, but you learn like anywhere else.
So you were assistant fashion director?
I went on to be the fashion director.
So you went at Shillitoe's?
Uh-huh. But that took a couple of years.
So you worked your way up from a temporary worker over the Christmas to become the fashion director for Shillitoe's.
Yeah, that was Shillitoe's.
And that was in Cincinnati?
In Cincinnati, yes.
And then where did that take you?
Yeah.
Was it Giddings and Jennings then?
Took me to, I was at Giddings and Jennings, and then I think I went to Macy's, didn't I? Does Leslie go?
St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg.
Oh
Florida.
yeah, when I decided to go to St. Petersburg, Florida. There was a buying job open there. And
Okay. So when you're at Giddies and Jennings, what type are you in the couture? What part of the fashion industry were you doing in that?
At Getting Jenny, it was more people come to you.
Personal shopper. So you were meeting the wealthy people of Cincinnati.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Marge Schott, maybe.
Who?
Marge Schott. Do you remember her?
I knew the name.
Yeah, and um, so you went to St. Petersburg, and you.
I went to work for John Baldwin, and John Baldwin at that time had the best store in the country. And so I became a couture director. And when they give you a name like that, it's just more like violent. But it was so different when you had clothes in Florida than in Cincinnati.
So were you meeting designers at that time?
Yeah, started meeting designers.
What designers were you?
They came because John Baldwin, my boss, was so well known. And Oscar de la Renta, Bill Blass, Mary McFadden, Leslie help me out. Yeah,
You're doing a good job.
yeah.
So would you go up to New York
I've been up to New York. I
in
had
the
to go up
garment district?
with Mr. Baldwin. He and I went up to buy the clothes for his store in Florida, which I hadn't done in Cincinnati, of course. And
And then
then become a buyer. And
would you go over to Europe and France for any of those?
no, we never went to Europe.
No.
Yeah, but he used to go to Europe. But the boss did. But we knew they were coming in.
So
And I worked there. I increased the numbers considerably.
good for you.
Yeah, oh, good for you.
And then from there, you had an opportunity to go to La Jolla.
Go where?
Go to La Jolla.
I'd go to La Jolla, and I went to because I heard that how beautiful it was in California. And so I came to La Jolla with somebody named Virginia Ring, who had her own store. And she wanted to open a store in La Jolla. And she wanted me to run it. So I did that without knowing anything about anything, except clothes. I always knew clothes. Learned that from my mother, I guess. You know, not that you have a sense of what's going to be fashionable or who should wear what. And it just is something that's just innate. It isn't something you learn. It's just something you're born with, I suppose. And then went to La Jolla and opened Virginia Ring store. And then it wasn't long after that that I heard the woman who was a fashion director of Saks was leaving.
Saks Fifth Avenue.
There. So I was over there first thing the next morning for that job. I got the job.
So you were the fashion director for Saks Fifth
At
Avenue.
South Avenue, which is a wonderful organization, place to work.
So did you play in dresses as a little 5 and 6-year-old, and now all of a sudden you're in La Jolla and fashion director of Saks Fifth Avenue? Did you always know that you had a love for fashion?
Yeah, it's really kind of strange, but opportunities always present themselves to me. Now, maybe I made them, I don't know. But that's the way it would happen. I would know this was the right thing to do.
And somewhere along the line you raised 5 kids?
Somewhere along the line, I loved my 5 kids. That was my first thing.
Yeah.
Always first with me.
So when you look through it all, I asked this question to your mother once, Grandma Norma. I'll tell you her answer, but I'm going to ask you the same question. If you could live your life over again, would you?
Well, I would if I knew the mistakes I made and didn't make them, I guess. But I would live it over because I couldn't live without my kids. without knowing that my children, who they were, what they were doing.
You know what your mom said to me when I asked her that question? Hell no. It was hard enough the first time. Tell us a little bit about your father, Marvin.
I really don't know much about Marvin except
Him and his brothers, and
never knew a lot. The only thing I knew was what my mother told me he was coming and whether it would happen, but he was I never really lived with my father or anything. I lived with my grandmother.
so not being raised without a father. Do you look back at that as something was missing in your life?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. I couldn't tell you what was missing because you haven't experienced it, but I just knew to open the doors, open the windows. If it's funny because you just live, you, you experience what you have to, and you get by. I never once I ever sit around thinking, if I had a father, this would happen. If I had a father, it would happen.
So in that time, in the early 1930s and 40s, you know,
40.
for you to be growing up without a father, was there a stigma in society? Did you feel?
Yeah. I was always hated the time when I saw out my father and mother's name in the papers were going around. It was, but my mother would make up for it. I guess I don't know. She never knew. I don't mean it that way. But
So
all was new. That's all I knew.
So growing up in the Catholic Church,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you got divorced, was that another stigma in society? Did you feel that society looked at you differently, having divorce in Catholic at a time when divorce wasn't
A little
common?
bit, but not much. Not much. Because my kids made up for it. I didn't care.
When you look at other firsts, do you remember when you would get up and you would jog? No women, and
Whenever I came out of the front door to see what the emergency was.
and you were running
I
up
was
and
running
down.
down the street.
Everybody was wondering what the emergency was. Why are you running down the street?
Uh-huh.
What inspired you to go out and start running?
Because I read in the book that the Army was trying running as a training, the best training there is. I thought, well, I'll try that. I'm only going to run to the corner and back.
But there weren't even running shoes.
No, it wasn't anything.
What did you run in?
Whatever I had on my feet.
Not high heels though. Right?
No, not high heels.
That would have been the fashion thing to do.
Yeah.
So you would go. So, what about yoga? I remember no one even did yoga, and I remember coming home and I remember coming home one time, walking in the door. I was a young boy, and there you were in the middle of the living room doing a headstand.
Yeah, right.
Like, what are you doing, Mom?
Yeah.
What inspired you to start doing yoga?
Because I thought that was, always had the sense that there was more, I had somewhere else, more information than I was receiving. Does that make sense?
So you were taking care of your body?
I was taking care of my body, yes.
So running and yoga and being a self-made woman and deciding your own future, do you look back and think that was pretty unique?
It was unique. Nobody knew about it. Nobody knew I didn't have running shoes.
So what's up with us having raw yeast? I mean, you come home and you make your own yogurt. What inspired you to make your own yogurt? And then in the morning you put yeast in a glass and we gulp down raw yeast because it was good for us? Where did you gain that knowledge? What inspired you to start making your own yogurt and doing yeast?
Well, it must have been something I read. The only place I get my information, not from anybody. and you find people who had the same belief system as you did. And once you were a yogi, you, you met different types of people.
So what gave you the confidence to do all of that? You're a single child, didn't have a father, but yet you were able to break all these barriers by yourself, raise 5 kids, go on from a volunteer at a department store to become a fashion director. What gave you the confidence to do all of that?
I think I just knew it was the right thing. I was always had great faith in God and went to church every morning, as you remember. It was just a sense that this is the right thing for you to do, and I don't know how. I mean, I don't even know of any explanation I could give you other than it's an inner voice. I never knew it being an inner voice.
So now you're 92, you're living in this place. What's your inner voice telling you now?
What's my what?
What's your inner voice telling you now about your life?
It's funny, I never think about the past. I always think about the future.
Is your voice telling you something about the future?
Other day, yeah, I think perhaps, what if I married again? What would I do? And I get to move now because they need the rooms. So it means I have to go up the hill where all the women are. Isn't that the women? Okay. Yeah.
What are you referring to?
They're referring to new move that I have to make.
So what's your inner voice telling you about your next move? Is it saying?
Scary.
Well, how have you treated that voice in the past? Weren't you scared of every move you made in the past when your inner voice was telling you something?
Not so much. I wasn't so alone. I feel more alone. Now I feel more alone than I did when I had all the kids around me and everything actually.
So you fear being alone?
Oh, sure. And 90.
92.
Okay.
Well, every challenge that you've been faced with, you've been able to make it successful.
Yes, I have.
And everything you've done, whether you know it or not, you've modeled it for us.
Probably.
So your next decision, you're actually modeling for us even now.
Yeah, probably so.
Well, listen to your inner voice and do what your inner voice says.
There's no choice. No choice. You got to go over. Take what comes with it.
So, do you ever think of Norma?
All the time.
Always good?
Always good. Always good. Yep.
Do you have any advice for your children and grandchildren?
Well, if you can, let all you and your family, you and yours, and all of you, there comes a time when you just have to trust. And I'm talking about trusting God. He's going to take care of you. I blessed the mother. I always knew she would take care of me. Maybe that was because I was raised in a Catholic school there was so much, I don't know. But it worked.
It worked.
It worked.
Well, you can't argue with success.
No.
Well, we love you.
Oh, I know. I love you too. All of you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.